there, this is a super quick video about how I know that certain things are tics. So some of my tics don't necessarily look like tics, they can look like something else, but only I can really tell whether it's a tic or not, and the way that I can tell that is the sensation that comes before the movement or vocalization, because tics that have an organic or autoimmune origin often have a strong sensation before them called the premonitory urge. This isn't necessarily the case for everyone and not for all tics, but organic and autoimmune tics do often have a sensation that comes before them. It's this distinct sensation that tells me whether something is a tic or not. So I used to have a vomiting tic, which wasn't nice at all, and people would ask how I know that it's a tic and not just a stomach bug or something, and the way I knew is that the sensation was different. Like when I'm nauseous, the sensation is like in my stomach, bloating sort of thing, and discomfort there, but that sort of discomfort is different from the urge to tic. When I had vomiting tics, I felt the urge in my throat, and when you have a stomach bug, you're probably not going to feel the feeling of nausea in your throat. And it started as a gagging tic that I would gag repeatedly, but then it progressed into a vomiting tic. And just that sensation in my throat that could partially be relieved by gagging, but mostly by vomiting, that's how I know it was a tic, that specific sensation. And it wasn't a nice tic because, yeah, the only way to get rid of the sensation was to vomit, and that vomit would kind of wash it away. It was kind of gross. But yes, that doesn't happen with like typical nausea from a stomach issue. You're not going to have that urge to like pet the back of your throat together and like push vomit up. That doesn't quite happen like that when you have a stomach bug. The difference between incontinence and a bladder tic was that with a bladder tic, it had a very strong warning beforehand that didn't feel like I needed to pee, but it was a tic urge. And it wasn't just a spontaneous leakage like some incontinent people experience. It was an urge to clench my stomach really hard and really quickly, which emptied my bladder at the same time. And that's how I know it's a bladder tic and not typical incontinence, because typical incontinence doesn't come with an urge to tense up your stomach. So I knew that was a different thing, and that's how I could tell the difference there. And I can also tell the difference between my tics and stims by the way they feel. The tic urge is very distinct. It's hard to describe though. It's sort of like a feeling of pressure sometimes. It can also be sort of sensation of what I used to call sticky magic on my skin, but it's very difficult to explain. I don't think anyone without tics would really understand. But for me, the tics have an uncomfortable sensation before them, so I know when they're going to happen. But with the stims, they can happen without any warning whatsoever. So I'll just randomly flap my hands or jump up and down, and the stims feel really good. They release endorphins, they make me energized and happy. The tics don't really have that effect. I do get relief, but that's only because the uncomfortable sensation that came before the tic is gone at that point. The tic relieves it, but technically the tics don't regulate my moods or anything like that like the stims do, so I can tell the difference there as well.